Okay, so this is part 2 of using the Taproot Volunteer platform. So we've talked about creating a project, which is a multi-week, 4 to 5 hours per week volunteer project. It's very specific and targeted within a specialty area of using professional volunteers. The other thing you can schedule, though, are 1-hour sort of strategy sessions with someone who has a particular expertise. So you can click this other button here on the left called Sessions. You can create a session and then you pick what kind of advice you're looking for. So you're using, again, the description tool to tell future volunteer candidates and Taproot what you'd like to discuss in a 1-hour virtual consultation session. They're a great place to get fresh perspective on a challenging situation, get some immediate problem solving help, or scope out a project plan for a more in-depth volunteer project. So you want to be as direct and concise with your request as possible and pay attention to the formatting, because this is exactly what will be seen by the Taproot volunteers as they're looking to see if there's any projects they'd like. So to make it easy, you could pick from one of these pre-scoped sessions. Let's see what they have here. Some things that can be helpful for a lot of the hub partners we work with is advice for building a strong board, recruitment strategies, revenue diversification brainstorming, working on strategic planning, again, revenue generating advice, even more technical things like using QuickBooks. Learning how to use free online tools and get free access to those so that your nonprofit can have the best technology at your fingertips. Using a social media channel, developing a marketing strategy, your messaging. This one, I've used these and they were really helpful. Website feedback, that's also really helpful. And again, I don't see the one that I want, so I'm going to create our own here. I'm looking for strategic feedback. So this time I'm looking for an expert with a marketing background. And I just this time want I just want feedback on our messaging. So this time I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to ask them to do a more targeted strategy session description. So giving more targeted and specific instructions this time. What we really want out of this messaging session is some outsider's perspective, someone who doesn't know anything about what we do, but who's in the marketing and brand messaging space, so that they can help us really simplify every slide, the message that we're trying to convey, make it harmonize, and just make the whole presentation so compelling and effective that anybody who's seeing the pitch can really get the messaging and get excited about supporting us and wanting to be involved and support the mission with their investment. So hopefully ChatGPT can come up with something short that we can put in that potential volunteers. And they didn't quite get it right. And this one looks better. Volunteer opportunity, be our heart hook pitch wizard. Are you branding and storytelling pro who thrills at turning good ideas into irresistible investor magnets? Lend us one power packed hour to polish our cacao to rainforest. That's not quite right, but it's a start. And we can just adjust it once we've got it in the Taproot session block here. So let's go back up and transform it. And again, because the way Taproot works, we just have to have all of the correspondence go. And then Raja, our volunteer coordinator, will help connect you with the potential applicants and schedule the call. Now, again, you have to agree to what they require in Taproot. This is just a good reminder every time to make sure that you stay really focused on what you're asking for and in the process, respecting the volunteer's time and getting the best use of what skill set they're bringing to the table. So that's all for this video here. And I encourage you to give this a try. I've found these exceptionally helpful when people apply right away. And sometimes they offer to do additional pro bono work for you after you've met with them, especially if you can convey just how exciting and important your work is. Okay, thank you.